Howdy, Possum Patty here, and no plans today, I decided I would just come in here and sit down, and whatever catches my eye, I'm going to pick it up and use it in a journal. So come on along to see what happens. Sometimes I don't have a plan. I just come in and I sit down and I look around, see what's on the table. And the first thing that caught my eye was this little possum doodle. And I left that on the table because I wanted to put some possum things into my awesome possum journal, which is all things possum. And the other day I showed you, I put this in there because I came across this. This is from Lucy. And I wanted to color it in before I put it in there. And I also found this, which is a copy of a possum painting done by my friend. Now we call her Kay, but her name is Gum Ron. And she lives in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. And she titled this one Bright Eyes. As you can see, cute little possum there with bright, shiny eyes. I love it. And I came across it and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stick it in there so it gets put in the journal. I said, well, I can put this little possum on this Harvest Moon page. But it looked too white. So I reached under the table and I grabbed a few colored pencils. Now these are ink tents, Derwent ink tents. They're like watercolor pencils, but instead of watercolor in them, there is water-soluble ink. Just a little different. If you re-wet it, it doesn't move as much. And I just put a little on there. Now I could go over these colors with another layer and make this darker, but I don't know if I want it really dark. I know this picture is dark, but I might just leave it like this because I wanted to cover up this part down here. Now this year, the full moon in October is not the harvest moon, but is actually the hunter moon, the hunter's moon. And my sister did send me a picture that she took the other night of the hunter's moon. And I wanted to put that on there. And I wanted to put this on here. And just do a simple page. But then I need to journal. I could make a pocket, right? I don't know. For some reason, I didn't want to cover that up because I like the illustration. And I like that this is dark, and I kind of want to leave it there. Right now I'm thinking maybe I'll add more color. But I have to be careful because this is just cardstock. Do I want this darker? All right, let's add a little more color. I mean, I just can't do anything, can I? Without doing more. One more. All right, now I'm thinking, I'm looking at this page. I see there's some orange on the moon. What I have is the moonlight coming down and reflecting on the possum's back. But maybe I'll add a little bit of orange. I know I have an orange. That's hot red. We don't want hot red. This is tangerine. And I'm just going to lightly put in some orange here. I'm going to go lightly, like I said, because this is cardstock. And I really don't want to get it too wet. This is just a doodle, not a precious piece of artwork. So just have fun with it, is what I'm telling myself. I don't want to get it too wet. Could blot it a little bit. Okay, now I used a color called Bark, B-A-R-K, for the background. Let's see if I can find it. Bark, is this Bark? Bark, I think this is Bark. Sort of a dark brownish gray. Let's put a little more color on there. So if you're not sure about your color or how much color you want, just do a couple of light layers. I'm making a little bit of a shadow down there. Uh-oh, I got it on her face. For dramatic effect, you always put the darkest darks next to the lightest lights. Somebody told me that once. Okay. I'm going to put a little tiny bit of color where the words are, but not worry about it too much. Now already that possum's popping out. Kind of like that. One thing about these Inktense pencils, when you put it down, the color does get a little more intense when you add some water to it. That's for sure. Paper's getting soft because it's just cardstock. So I don't like this square edge here. I don't know if I could fix it. I might have to dry it and then add another layer. Okay, I dried it a little bit and added a little more yellow. Reflect the moonlight there. And now the grass looks too light. And this is leaf green. The greens on the page are very dark. I'm just basically playing right now. Like I said, I had no plans, and I just sat down. So that's why I like to have, a couple of different things going at one time. Because maybe I'm in the mood for a different kind of play today. A fun possum play. And that'll darken that up. I have to be careful when I dry because this mat tends to warp when you get it hot. Okay, now what do you think? I think there's a little too much bright yellow on her face. Tame that down a little bit. Alrighty. Okay, I'm going to clear the pencils out of the way and grab the journal. Okay, I took out this paper pack, Magical Thinking, because it has moons in it. And one of the cut aparts says, I hear the whisper of the stars and the call of the pale moon. And I thought maybe that might be the perfect little card to put in my possum pocket over here. But maybe I want to back this with something before I put the picture on there. Although I do want to do some journaling. Oh, I can journal right there on the front. Okay. So I have a little scrap paper with the phases of the moon. So all I'm going to do is back this journaling card or cut apart. Put that on there. And then journal on this side. Okay, one more thing. I was putting these together. I'm like, oh, I want something coming out the top. And I went over to my little fabric stash and I found this beautiful purple moon and star material. Okay, let's see. I don't want it flat. So I might have to put a couple pleats in there. Like that. I don't know if purple really goes with this page. I do have a little bit of purple there. But it is stars and moon. And this has a tiny bit of a purple tinge to it. So I'm going to sew that right in between these two cards before I put my picture down. I've got my material sewn on. October 2023, Debbie's picture of the hunter's moon on the back. The phases of the moon. And I'm going to put that in the possum pocket on the harvest moon page. Look how fun that is. My little possum doodle on there in the moonlight. The little creatures here. I think those are mice though, or field voles or something, but that's okay. Super fun, super fun. All right, what else can I do here? Oh, I want to put this in here. You know what? I do have this, a picture of this hanging on my wall. So if you hang on tight, I'm going to walk over and show you. This is the mess on the desk. It's not a mess. It's all the things I'm going to journal about. But way over here on my wall is a copy of The Bright Eyes. This is a larger one. So I'm going to put the little one in my journal. Have I filled up all these pages? It doesn't matter. I can always go back and fill up a page. Pages like this I'm not going to cover because that's from the original book, the Possum book. But I'm thinking I want to put a pocket so that I can have the back there. And I might come back and put something, maybe a picture of her, if I can find a picture of her or something, put that there. So for now, all I would need to do is to make a pocket. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to make a pocket and stick this in. So it won't be floating around the table anymore. It will actually be in the journal. This paper is from this Pretty Petals paper studio. That's Hobby Lobby cardstock. And this is something I got at the flea market. And I'm looking for something to make a pocket from. And this might be perfect paper to do that. It's got a variety of things in here, so they don't all match or go together. So that's this paper right there. And there aren't any other really tropical patterns except for those leaves. So let's see. What if I cut out a tuck like in the shape of one of these bunches of leaves? Maybe straight across at the bottom, and then sort of like that. Let's see how that's going to look. Okay. And maybe I want to rip it. Let's see. Do I care about getting all those points in? Maybe not. Let's see. I think I'm going to come in a little bit more. Something like this. And just stick this possum in here for now. Just for now. I'll come back and do more. I'm loving the way I've got the ripped edge with the green stripes going this way, and then the ripped edge of the flowers, and now the ripped edge of these leaves, these pink and green leaves, and this is sort of going diagonally up that way. So I'm going to gently place this in here. I'm not going to stick it too far down because I want to hit the glue. And I'm going to put this aside and let this dry for right now. And I still have to come back and color this. Although I want to keep the writing on the back, so this can go in a pocket too. And then I could take it out and color it in when I'm ready to. I think the page has got to be a little bit wider than that. Now I can cover this and just stick this in there. I think it would just be nice to have these things all together, and then I could take the journal out and, you know, come back and embellish or come back and color in by keeping all the possum things together for right now. Well, I decided to go with this really pretty black paper with the gold accents and the pale pink flowers, mostly because it was in that moon set that was sitting on the table, and also this very pale pink, which I distressed with black to make a little pocket. I'm going to glue that down, and then she's going to sit right there, but I thought I would decorate this, and I picked out this sort of grasshopper die that was gifted to me, and I used my painty paper that I made, that big giant piece of painty paper, and I cut out a critter to put on the pocket. And why did I pick a grasshopper? Let's go back to the journal, because look, there's a big one down there, and there's one over there, and I might have done a frog if I could have found a frog, but grasshopper showed up first, so he gets to be on the page. And I like the dark paper next to this dark paper over here. And then the little guy looking over here at those grasshoppers. So I'm just going to glue this all down and put her in the pocket. I feel the need to do some mark making. I think, see, this is covered with little shiny gold dots, and I feel like I want to put some around this grasshopper here. I like that he's black and green and gold already, but I want to add some gold to that, and then I'm going to just pop her in the pocket. And I've just discovered there's a few more possum things sitting around, and one is this possum witch. And look at the little baby possums, how cute down there. So I think the Possum Witch might have to get a page before she gets lost. I gotta shake up my Deco Color Premium Gold Leaf Pen. I love, love, love this. I did not realize I had so many possum things sitting on my table, just waiting to go somewhere. And I'm just going to put random gold dots. Nothing like doing a little mark making to make the journal page yours. Love it, love it. Very sparkly. Cap tightly. All right, so I'm gonna put little possum in here for now. I have to let that dry. But in the meantime, I can think about what I want to do with this sticker and these little witches. I have to be careful because this might still be wet. But I turned the page and I was like, oh, there's the possum and the fireflies and the, I don't know if they're crickets or grasshoppers. They're out at night. They might be crickets, right? And the raccoon and all the little creatures and the big moon. I'm thinking, well, why don't I just put the witch up at the moon? And they're all looking up at her. That would be like a perfect Halloween page right there. All right, I'm going to gently turn the page. That gold does dry quickly. And I could put her flying up this way because I got a big black space there. All right. Well, now she won't get lost. Mama Possum Witch and baby Possum Witches. I mean, that's just perfect, isn't it? It's possum perfect. Well, I got quite a few pages done. All right, now I came back to this one. I'm thinking, this is looking very tropical, and I know I'm doing fall and Halloween and tropical, everything all together. But I would love to put something, add something here that's tropical. And I did get that set from your creative journal, which is under the table. And it had pink and green tropical things in it. What would go with a possum? Let's see what's in here. Now, it doesn't have to go with a possum at all. It could just be something very pretty. Or we could put a toucan there. Ooh, chameleon. Yes, 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 yes. Definitely, definitely. Yep, yep, yep. I think I need to go with that. Oh, I got a couple of them. Here's one that could be sitting on a branch. Ooh, that might work too. And there's some leaves here. It's the same one. Pineapple. I think I'm just going to stick them on that branch. I just felt like it needed a little bit of interest right there. And this was a set I got from Your Creative Studio, which is a subscription journaling kit. And they sent this to me to review. And I can link that video below. Yes, I'm going to put him right on that leaf right there. I knew this page needed something. So have you ever just sat down and said, okay, I'm just going to sit down and no plans, pick up something and start journaling? Or do you need a plan? But I love that little, I think it's an old world chameleon or something. Something like that. Oh, I keep finding these now everywhere. Put them away, put them away. I'm so bad about putting things away. Well, I think that's all the possum play for today. Yeah, I think I did pretty good. I got a few pages done. Things that were floating around on the table are now in the possum journal, so they won't get lost. My little doodle possum there. And I'm loving now that the pages are starting to fill up. So much fun working a journal when there's already a lot of things in there. I think that's how I do. That's how I do it, but you do you. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And I do have some possum pictures I need to put in here. But I need to print those out from my computer. But right now, I'm going to call it done. And I just want to thank you for coming along today and wish you a happy junk journaling. Bye-bye.